one here. Go ahead.
What did you see as the biggest problems that you were having defensively in the first half?
You know, we couldn't stop the run, particularly on the perimeter, right, on the edges, but changing fronts, and you know the adjustment to a couple things when the bunch formations, that adjustment really didn't happen fast enough. You know, because it was a little bit different in the second half, particularly third quarter, but you know we you know, that we need to be able to stop the run, and then we cut loose a couple guys wide open, right? Some miscommunication in the secondary, so it was a combination of a couple things.
Is the miscommunication just, you know, a new defensive coordinator or just a bad day?
Yeah, I got to look at the tape, but you know I think you know the communication was obviously an issue in the secondary when you got guys that wide open at different times.
Do you think effort was an issue at all at any point defensively?
I don't know. I got to look at it. It has not been an issue this whole year, and out of this team, effort hadn't been an issue all year. You know, so you know, I was just on the radio, and with everything that happened, you know, we drive down the field, and I call timeouts, you know, just so we can, if we kick the field goal there, if we make it, it becomes a one-score game. Even with all that, it's an 8-point game, and you know, we had some momentum. We had made some stops defensively, and we moved the ball offensively, but you know, we missed the field goal, and then it's we kind of deflated us, I think. So, you know, like I said, these guys, effort-wise, that hasn't been a problem, and to try to get back in the game, guys like JJ, and I mean, his effort was phenomenal tonight, right? I mean, he's a leader by example. You know, he ran hard. He made guys miss. He caught balls. We said we wanted to get him up around, you know, getting into the 30s now again, touch-wise, and he got close. So, you know, with the issues we're having health-wise in our offensive line, I thought his performance was outstanding.
How do you ensure that the team doesn't start pointing fingers at each other?
We just had a conversation about that. So that's been openly addressed in the locker room before I came up here. And that's important because, you know, it's when things go well, it's easy for everybody, right? So when things happen, you know, the way they've happened the last few weeks, it's important to stick together and be a team. And you know, when you win a bunch of games, you don't need to listen to the outside noise. And when you're in a deal like we are right now, what's important is what's said in this building and what's said in that locker room. And you know, as I said, you got really one choice, you know, and that's to keep fighting. And the way to keep fighting is to stay together and do that.
What can you accomplish during the bye week, especially on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I think you can accomplish a lot. You know, the first thing we can accomplish as a team is try to get healthy in the next 2 weeks. That's number one. You know, and we got to make some decisions. You know, we had to use Jordan Morgan today for his 4th game, and Jordan was, just like we said, he was always ready. He's been practicing with the other guys, but that's his 4th game, which, as I said, the rule helped us. So, because we wouldn't have made it through there probably without him today. When Donovan got hurt, we had 2 guys go down on one play. Conjal was limping around out there. So, offensive line-wise, you know, and Josh, you know, our center's down, but he came back. No, I didn't. And so for us, this week, the bye physically, to answer your question, the bye physically comes at a opportune time for us, not just 1 week, but 2 weeks for some of the guys who are struggling physically. And, you know, the mental part, and it becomes important too in a bye week where you can practice and do some things schematically, make some decisions about where guys are and when they're playing, and So for us, and it doesn't seem like it right now, but Monday, for our team and where we are physically, it comes at the right time.
How would you assess Grant's performance in the second half?
He did some good things, and he did some good things in the first half also. I think when he was in there the first couple, we moved the ball. Might have had two touchdown drives, right? In the first half, was it two? The two that he was in, we scored. So but in this game, life pays off in results, not numbers, right? And he was in a position where we're playing catch up, and I think with everything that was going on and where we were in the ball game, I thought again, he operated well. He made some mistakes and some reads as a freshman, but he used his legs today and no turnovers. So from that standpoint, based on the blitzes that we were getting in the line that was in front of him, I thought he did about as good a job as he could do.
Is quarterback one of those decisions that you need to make over the next couple weeks?
Well, I think we've gone down the road. We the last couple weeks, we feel good about both those guys. But when we go through this next week, where guys are health wise, it matters, and for all positions.
Did you tell in your film study that Oregon State might have been a little bit better than people thought?
We knew they've got a lot different personnel than they had last year, right? I think the quarterback's doing an excellent job. You go back and look, and the other statistic is we knew when they had 2 turnovers for the whole season, right? Isn't that correct? So he's doing a great job of taking care of the football, and the 2 running backs are excellent. So, yeah, but they got a lot of different personnel than they had last year at this time, and they've done a nice job offensively by not giving away things. You go in a game like this and you say, well, as I said on Tuesday, we got to limit penalties, and they don't turn the ball over. So, and neither did we, but they've done a nice job with that being consistent and turnover margin all year.
How do you think the offensive line held up given the injury situation?
That's why I got to look at it, because every series it was like a different group in there, right? So we got guys coming on and off, moving Peyton Fears around. Like I said, Jordan Morgan had to go and play for Donovan Lay. So, we had some times where we just got flat beat, but physically it was an issue with some guys being able to move, but it gave us some opportunities to get some other guys in there. And again, I got to look at it, but there's some, those guys went in there and battled, and some guys who hadn't played very much in their career here.
In terms of scheme and stuff like that, at this point in the season defensively, is there only so much you can do?
Well, the bye week helps, right? And so we just got to go back to the drawing board, and 1 week is 1 week, but the bye week gives you 2 weeks basically to really hone in on what you can do with personnel, and if there needs to be changes, you've got some time right now.
Was this just an off day for Lucas?
Yeah, he's been battling some things. So, I think once you see him not being able to consistently kick off, we've just gotten used to not covering kicks in the last couple of weeks. But he's been, this like I said, the bye week comes at a good time for him too. So to get him healthy, because he hasn't been 100% for the last couple of weeks.
The way JJ was playing at the end of the game when it was basically over, is that something you can show to the rest of the team?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yep.
look at this. This is how you're supposed to
Well, he plays like that all the time, right? Regardless of score, regardless of situation, that's who he is. And you want to have 100 of those guys on your team, but he's a leader by example. Doesn't say much, but is extremely effective. And yes, you can point to that as here's how you would like for everybody to play.
One more question. question for Coach? All right, thanks,
All
everybody.
right, thank you.